This is gonna shock you, but these healthy fat loss foods are the worst things you could consume for your metabolism. I mean, they put the brakes on fat loss and even feed diseases like cancer. And guess what? These 5 healthy foods are in most of the foods you might be eating, thinking you're eating it to lose weight and lower inflammation, when it's doing the complete opposite. If you want to live longer, feel younger, burn stubborn fat, I've broken this video into 3 critical lessons here. Yes, I'll be outlining these 5 foods and the hidden ingredients in the most common foods you're probably eating right now. That's the first criteria we'll cover. The second criteria is how to spot these unhealthy inflammatory foods on an ingredients label. And number 3, how to break free from this addiction to these inflammatory foods that keep you hooked, and the healthier swaps as well. By the end of this lesson, you'll never look at these healthy foods the same way again, and you'll know exactly what to eat to burn fat, lower inflammation, and feel absolutely incredible. The first fake healthy food are heart-healthy vegetable oils called seed oils. You've seen this on the labels: heart healthy, cholesterol-free, omega-3 rich. But what they don't tell you is that these industrial seed oils like canola, soybean, and many others, I'll give you a full list in a minute, create massive amounts of inflammation. They block your fat-burning hormones from doing their job, and they lead to autoimmune disease, cancer, and also diabetes. Seed oils are very unstable fats that are processed with disgusting chemical agents, high heat temperatures, and it turns this fat into a oxidized fat. What does that mean? Well, when you bite into an apple and leave that apple on the counter for a few hours, come back later and look at the apple, you're gonna see the part that was bitten starts to turn brown. It's essentially rusting. This is exactly what these fats are doing to your cells. And when that happens, your fat-burning hormones, they're blocked. It puts the brake on your metabolism. Studies show that consuming these seed oils leads to metabolic disease, weight gain, weight loss resistance, and even cancer. And the shocking truth, they're found in 80% of the entire food supply in the United States. They're even at Whole Foods supermarket, your healthy restaurant, they're everywhere. So here's a list of the ones you want to avoid. Write these down right now, do an audit in your pantry, throw out all the foods that contain these ingredients, and when you go shopping at the grocery store, turn the box around, or whatever the food is, look at the ingredients list and make sure it does not contain any of these 8 fats I'm going to share with you right now. Then I'll give you the healthier swaps. The fats to avoid are canola oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, rice bran oil, and grapeseed oil. These are all classified as vegetable oils. Instead, we want to swap them for fat-burning foods that lower inflammation, support your cellular health, support your metabolism. These are fats called saturated fats and monounsaturated fats. These are the fats that have been vilified for so many years by your doctor, dietitian, nutritionist, but in fact, they're the healthiest fats you can eat. They help you burn fat, lower inflammation, extend your lifespan. These include butter, ghee, beef tallow, duck fat, lard from healthy cows, avocado oil, olive oil. When you consume these healthy, stable fats, you're gonna burn fat. So make the swap and do it immediately. And here's a pro tip. When you go to restaurants, ask the server, what oils do you use to cook the food in? 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be these inflammatory vegetable oils. And what I do is I show them my seed oil allergy card. And it shows the bad fats I listed, that you're allergic to them, the healthier swaps, and they accommodate. They will take this card to the chef and they'll make sure you don't get the bad fats. You don't want to take that hit, because when these fats enter your body, they stay in your body, stuck there, and creating inflammation and weight gain for years. The half-life of these bad fats is 680 days, meaning when you stop eating them today, about 2 years later, half of them will remain in your body fat, creating inflammation. My gift to you is this free seed oil card over at seedoilcard.com. Go download it right now. The second fake healthy food are fat-free and low-fat dairy products. Remember the low-fat diet craze? Well, it was one of the biggest nutritional scams in history. It didn't work. It was a complete failure, and it has led to the increase in obesity, cancer, metabolic syndrome. When food companies remove the naturally occurring fat in dairy products, they replace it with sugar, artificial thickeners, and gums to make up for the lost taste when you remove these fats. This spikes your blood sugar levels, spikes your fat storage hormone, insulin, and puts the brakes on fat loss. Why do we want to eat low fat? It doesn't make any sense. Your cell membranes are made up of fat. Your brain is at least 60% fat. Fat and cholesterol builds your hormones, including your fat-burning hormones. So when you eat low fat, you're starving your body, you're starving your brain and metabolism of quality building blocks to thrive and burn fat. So when you see the following terms, all natural, fat-free, low fat, on these products, I want you to think of the term chemical shitstorm, because that's exactly what it contains, a whole bunch of chemicals. Swap those out for full-fat, grass-fed dairy. That is going to be nutritionally dense. Fat does not make you fat. Insulin makes you fat, and fat does not spike insulin. Carbohydrates do. So make that swap. That goes a long way. The third fake healthy food is going to be whole grain breads. Whole wheat. Sounds healthy, right? Wrong. Most whole wheat and whole grain breads are just repackaged junk food. Whole wheat still spikes blood sugar almost as much as white bread, leading to fat storage and insulin resistance. As a matter of fact, 2 slices of whole wheat bread can spike your blood sugar as much as a 12-ounce can of soda or a Snickers bar, according to Dr. William Davis, author of Wheat Belly. Many brands use high fructose corn syrup in their whole wheat bread. This is a nasty sugar that's primarily metabolized by your liver. About 90% of it is metabolized by your liver, which leads to fatty liver disease, weight gain, and it's a poison to your mitochondria, these energy battery packs within your cells that help you have energy, help you burn fat. It depletes your mitochondria when you consume high fructose corn syrup, typically found in whole wheat bread. Not to mention, they usually contain those seed oils we spoke about earlier. We want to avoid that. Plus, many store-bought breads contain glyphosate, which is a weed killer, and it kills your mitochondria. It destroys your metabolism, which we know is linked to metabolic dysfunction. Better choices is just to stay away from the bread. If you want to burn fat, we don't want to spike sugar. And all breads will spike sugar, including gluten-free bread. So instead, have protein and fat, have steak and eggs. Eat foods that do not raise blood sugar, which is going to be protein and fat, not carbohydrates. Before I move on to the fourth food you want to avoid here, I have a free ebook all about fat loss. It's my Burn Fat ebook. It teaches you what to eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner so you could burn fat, lose up to 10 pounds in the next 7 days following these 3 easy steps outlined in the book. You can read this little ebook in about 15 minutes, apply the information, and you'll lose weight starting on day 1. Go to burnfatbook.com or click or scan the QR code on the screen. If you're watching or listening, I should say, on the podcast, click the link in the notes down below. The fourth fake healthy food are plant-based meat alternatives. The plant-based revolution is here, but it's built on ultra-processed frankenfoods that wreck your metabolism. These meat substitutes are loaded with soy protein isolates, canola oil, synthetic additives, which causes hormonal disruptions and massive inflammation. Many contain textured vegetable proteins, which are often treated with hexane, a chemical solvent used in gasoline production. Are you consuming gasoline in your food? You might be if you're eating these plant-based alternatives to meat. Better swaps are going to be grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chicken, wild-caught fish, or even whole plant foods like mushrooms and legumes. Organic is preferred. Make that swap, that goes a long way. The fifth fake healthy food are fruit juices and smoothies. Yes, even the natural ones. Think drinking orange juice is the same thing as eating an orange? Think again. Fruit juice is just pure sugar with all the fiber removed. This leads to a rapid blood sugar spike, insulin resistance, and metabolic damage, and it's highly linked to fatty liver disease as well. Even green smoothies can contain 30 to 50 grams of sugar per serving. That's more than a can of soda. Excess fructose found in fruit juice overloads the liver, leads to fatty liver disease, and increases weight and increases risk for cancer. If you choose to have fruit, just eat the whole fruit. That contains the fiber, the protein, the healthy fats, the antioxidants without diminishing all of that when you blend it. But I have to say, if you're looking to burn fat and you're overweight right now, you should probably stay away from fruit. If you're gonna have fruit, some of the fruits that are okay in small amounts are the low glycemic fruits, such as blueberries and strawberries. Now let's get to the most commonly asked questions on this topic that you have submitted here on YouTube. Are all seed oils bad, or are there any exceptions? Not all seed oils are bad for you. If you could find a high quality, organic, cold pressed seed oil and don't heat it, use it as a salad dressing or dip. For example, organic cold-pressed sunflower oil or grapeseed oil, that could be totally fine in small amounts. It's really the processed seed oils we're trying to avoid, but unfortunately, most of the seed oils on the market are the processed variety that are inflammatory and filled with chemicals. Next question, how does dairy affect people with lactose intolerant or dairy sensitivities? This is a really important question because about 75% of the entire adult population in the world have some variation of lactose intolerance. So always go with raw, organic, grass-fed dairy. And if you feel like that's still an issue for you and you're having a stall with your weight loss, switch over to sheep and goat dairy. That's much safer, much better digested, and sheep and goat dairy contain 30% medium chain fats, which actually help boost ketones and help you burn fat. The next question is this, how much sugar is too much when it comes to smoothies? I think all smoothies are not going to be healthy for you. If you need to lose weight, if you have extra weight in your body right now, you want to stay away from smoothies. The body has a tightly controlled system in place for glucose. An optimal state, an optimal thriving body burning fat, lowering inflammation, extending lifespan is only 1 teaspoon of sugar in the entire bloodstream. So if you ever measured your blood glucose in a fasted state, that's 80 milligrams per deciliter. You don't really have to know that, but if you test, that's the information you do need to know. When you have smoothies or even fruit in excess, there's going to be an increase in your blood sugar levels. Insulin is cranked out, and then that's stored as fat. Always remember, high levels of insulin, fat storage state. Low levels of insulin, fat burning state. So if you want to get into a fat burning state, get rid of the smoothies, eat more protein and fat. Next question, what specific chemicals in processed foods contribute to cancer? Well, I touched on glyphosate and hexane. Both of them are known to be carcinogenic, cancer-causing. The vegetable oils as well. Vegetable oils produce just as much of what's called aldehydes, which are carcinogenic, as smoking tobacco cigarettes. And this is not just a made-up theory. In my book, Metabolic Freedom, I talk about the vegetable oil study done by Dr. Martin Grudfeld, where he looked at French fries fried in vegetable oils, and it produced the same amount of these cancer-causing aldehydes as tobacco cigarettes. And it made the point that in a large order of French fries from McDonald's, by the way, fried in vegetable oil, that's about 25 French fries, which is equivalent to 25 tobacco cigarettes smoked. So essentially, one French fry cooked in vegetable oil is equivalent to a tobacco cigarette smoked. Yikes. Next question. If I've been eating these fake healthy foods for years, how long does it take to reverse the damage? The body is incredible. You have this inner physician inside of your body that's the world's greatest doctor. It's there to heal your body. Your body was built to heal itself. As long as you remove the interference, you'll notice a difference within days, weeks, and especially months. You just need to make these simple swaps that I outlined here, and day after day, you're gonna notice extraordinary benefits. Next question, what are some practical meal ideas that completely avoid these 5 fake health foods? Well, in that free ebook over at burnfatbook.com, I outline breakfast, lunch, and dinner fat burning meals that are devoid of these fake healthy foods. But always think of it this way, protein and fat, that's what you want to aim for. Eggs, butter, steak, wild caught fish, organic pork and poultry, even organ meat. These are going to be much healthier for your metabolism. You're going to have better energy levels, you're going to burn fat, you're going to get better sleep, less inflammation, you're going to feel incredible. So focus the majority of your diet on protein and fat and lower your carbohydrate intake. Next question is, how do these foods impact children's metabolism and development? It's huge. We are seeing diabetes in children. As a matter of fact, diabetes used to be called adult onset diabetes. Then we started to see a huge increase in children getting type 2 diabetes, and they changed the name to type 2 diabetes. We also see children with fatty liver disease. We see obesity rates on the rise in not just adults, but in children. It also impacts their learning. It could trigger ADHD, mental illness, of course, obesity. So it's important, if you have children, to remove all these products that I mentioned today, all these inflammatory ingredients from their diet. We want to raise beautiful, healthy children. They're going to change the future of this world. So it really does start with children. So if you have children, I really hope you take this message to heart and apply it as well. If you enjoyed this lesson, please share it with somebody you know. And if you're listening on the podcast, leave the podcast a rating and a review. And thank you so much for listening or watching the entire lesson here. And if you love this lesson, I just published a really cool video where I was driving through the streets of Miami where I live, and I outlined in 12 minutes, I shared what I have learned in the last 17 years in the fat loss and health space, so you don't have to make the same mistakes. This is gonna be super valuable for you, especially if you're looking to lose weight. Here's a clip from that video, and then click the video on the screen to watch that next. So the first thing is this. So this is a valuable lesson I learned that's gonna save you so much time because I made so many mistakes here. Calories are not that important. There are other things when it comes to fat loss that are more important, and that's hormones and inflammation. For so many years, I kept just cutting my calories, exercising more. Tricky thing about that is that it works